This is a quick video on our little farm called Little Tilba up in the mid-north coast. So this property, the reason Little Tilba gets this name is this whole property, as you can see all around here, used to be one big property. That used to be the main house over there. Oh, there's the main house over that side of the road. This whole property used to be called Tilbuster, and Tilbuster's a part on a tractor. We're on an implement that goes on the back. And because the ground was so hard around here for all the potato farmers, it used to bust the tills. So a lot of properties in the early days were called Tilbuster. So this one here got its name Little Tilba because it was, I suppose the littlest farm on the big property. There's the old cattle yards. There's been a few cattle go through those yards over the years. So it's a little BMC mini tractor that we use. It's probably 50, 60, maybe 70 years old. It's quite old. And it still gets worked every day and does a lot of stuff around the farm. So good little tractor, so which is good. So we're going to take a bit of a quick tour around today. So there's the farm gate, Little Tilba, the sign that was made up. As you can see, this house over there on the hill. Now we actually have some neighbours where this used to be one big property, and this here property is 40 acres. I'm going to give you a quick tour around today and show you a few of the vegetable patches and the animals we run. And the plan is over the next few years is to diversify and run a lot more animals on the farm and grow a lot more fruit and vegetables and make this property more sustainable. So we're going to head on up to the house and give you a quick tour of the farm garden now. Check it out, the house garden. So here we are in the house garden. That's another fruit tree. It's an orange tree. Over there's a shade house where a lot of the seedlings start from, and we grow over there and before they get put out into the other gardens. This is a tractor shed. At the moment it's full of cattle feed. It's been very, very dry up here. It actually has been raining overnight, but before that it hasn't rained for months. So we've been getting in a lot of the feed for the cattle because we just have had no water up here. So we're required to feed the cattle grain on a daily basis. There's a firewood that's been collected over summer. So there'll be all the firewood collected there, and we won't go through all that in winter. We've just slowly been collecting over the years. So there's a little shed over there behind that tree, which actually has some more firewood in it. So head around the back here, and we're going to show you the battery hens. Now these hens are pretty much, they get 18 months. They live in the battery farms so they don't get to see sun or anything like that. And it's quite a sight. I will make a video on what they're like when we do get them from the battery farms, but pretty much they're allowed to roam around the place here wherever they want and do whatever they want. Just of an evening we lock them up in there to protect them from foxes and any other predators and snakes and goannas. There's been a lot of goannas around lately, so but yeah, of a night they get put in there. They've been put in there this afternoon. That's where the geese live over there. They're down the back paddock at the moment harassing the bull, so that's their little domain over there, and they certainly let you know it's their domain, won't let you in there. We come down here and this is the orchard, and we've got another vegetable patch down here. So we grow some peas, zucchinis, cucumbers, some lettuces, a few other things like that get grown in this vegetable patch here. As you can see, that paddock over the back there, it's one of the main paddocks where the cattle run in. As you can see, that's the big bull down there. He's huge, he's about 2.5 tonne. It's quite a large animal. This is the orchard, which is in the house, garden house paddock, whatever you want to call it. Yes, that's the main paddock over there where a lot of pretty much the cattle run and get most of their feed from. Over there's the creek and the dams. We store most of our water. Oh, bit of water on the camera there. So yeah, so this is the home orchard. And what we do around this area, as you can see, that's the geese. There's a little bath, and the geese get in it and swim in it and do their business. And what we do is we move it from tree to tree every couple of days, and when they do their business in it, it produces nitrogen and some good fertiliser. So we use that to fertilise all the fruit trees. So every couple of days, you just move it around from tree to tree, tipping the water out, and the geese get under it and do their business, and it's pretty much free fertiliser is what it is. Out here in the farm, that barbecue there, my wife and my mother-in-law, they did it all by themselves, all the cementing, concreting, the lot. There was no males involved in the build of that, so they did really, really well, and they're really proud of it, and we use that pretty much nearly every night in summer to cook our food on. it's a bit cold to come out the back in winter, so we use the inside the house, but in summer we're out here cooking the food all the time, which is great. So a few more fruit trees over here. If you have a good look at this tree here, it's actually turned its leaves around, and as you can see, the lighter colour leaves, they're facing towards the sun. The reason they do that is when they get really dry, and it's been so dry up here. But it's amazing how many have actually turned around overnight, because we've had about 30 mil of rain overnight. But yeah, they turn the leaves toward the sun. This is one of the we've got the compost over here, and we've got some zucchinis growing out of the compost. So you can't get much better fertiliser than that for your zucchinis. And that's just seeded. We've just thrown compost in there, and the zucchini's just self-grown itself out of there. So it wasn't intended; it just happened, grew itself. This is one of the gardens we let go over summer. We didn't have enough water to keep going, and here's another one that we let go. We have a lot of big gardens out the front of the house, and when it doesn't rain, there's no water, so it's hard to keep things alive. And I suppose you'd be picky and choosy of what you keep going and let go what you can't. So those milk bottles there are used to put over the plants and protect them when they grow, and we've actually used them as self-watering as well. They're set up, you can use them for self-watering. Another fruit tree there. That's the dairy. We've got three milking cows, Lavender, Myrtle and Dorothy. Dorothy's the youngest of the two. Lavender and Myrtle pretty much just calved, so we milk them each morning. And we come over here and we've got another vegetable patch, which is one of the main veggie patches out the front of the house. Which, yeah, this is quite one of the largest ones, so all the focus and attention went into this garden here to keep it alive over summer, because it produced most of the food for the house, so it was all made out of this garden here. So that's the main garden. That's another paddock there where most of the cows spend most of their time. Over to the left where all the trees are, there's a creek that runs through there, and we pump all our water up from the creek when it's dry, up into a tank, which is just behind me. So yeah, and then unfortunately the creek's quite dry, so yeah, we've to slow up on getting water out of the creek. So that's the big tank that the water goes into. That's our creek water tank, and that tank there is set up around all the taps, and all the water on the outside of the house all comes from that tank there. And just over there, the house over to the right, as you can see, that's those tanks there is what we drink out of. So that's a quick tour of Little Tilba, of the farm, and yeah, there's a few more videos I'll post up and show a few more things time to come.